Hey everybody, welcome to Forge the Narrative. This is our Monday Night Live Webcast. My name is Paul Murphy. I'm joined tonight by Kenny Boucher.
Yo, dog.
We got Rob and Juice trying to get in right now. Technology, we live and die by it. But,
You're not lying about that. We got Juice, our resident IT expert, trying to fix it right now from location in Southern Pines.
Revving up that hamster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll let Juice give a shout out to everybody once he gets in. If not, then I'll do it, man. But we got a lot to go over tonight. Although it's Tyranid, woke up to like Tyranid Christmas.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, I got a bunch of texts from you and various other people. Got a lot of texts about a lot of cool tech, and I'm pretty excited to see that at least there's something that's come out for the Tyranids that I think has some play.
Well, I've actually been asked to comment on this from a business perspective about why they're releasing the things the way that they are, and I'm going to give some kind of commentary on that. But I first want to talk about how cool everything is.
Fair point. It is very cool.
I think I was on air talking about how they're not going to give Monstrous Creatures a drop pod, and then.
Well, you can't always be right. I mean,
I know.
That's probably why they didn't give you the CEO job, is because you called that out wrong. They're like, well, if you can't get Spore Pods right.
If he can't be 100% right all the time, then we're just that's what we need, 100%. Or they heard me and changed it just to spite me.
Just to spite you, just to show you why you're not a CEO material.
That's right. So yeah, I accept that. But man, what do you think? Do you think that seeing these pods the way that they are, and we're not even getting into like the spore mines and stuff yet, but do you think the pods are going to bring some things to the table that we've just basically ignored so far because they couldn't make it across?
That's the obvious. That's like Centaurians and drop pods. Like, obviously drop pods come out for everyone to use. You're like, yep, where we can put them, we can put Centaurians in them. So yes, I think right out the gate, that's the obvious thing that they can do. But one of the less obvious things they can do is they're basically gunboats, man.
Yeah, they got some guns, but I'm digging. Of course, everyone's talking about the Hive Guard coming in, ambushing some wave servers and stuff.
Oh yeah, like exactly the same. Like I said, the same MO is put a shooting unit in there that's really powerful that has limited range, just like Centaurians. That's awesome. And also, I love the upgrades though to the thing itself, though, man. Like this, I mean, like you have 3 or 4 of these things dropping in, and or 3 of these things dropping in, and like that's 15, like strength 6, small blast templates.
Yeah, they're expensive though. They're 75 points base.
Right. It's like 95 points for that configuration.
Yeah, I'm thinking you've got to put something huge in there for it to make it worth it.
Yes, it's one of those things. It's like go all in, I think.
But putting if let's say you come down in, you take 3. I don't know if they've got the drop pod insertion rule or whatever, or if they just come down one at a time. They
historically have not had that.
Yeah, but you come down with some synapse, or you burrow in with some synapse if that's even possible, and drop a bunch of OPSEC, 40 gaunts or whatever in the backfield. That's kind of hard to deal with. That's
one of my go-tos is 20 gaunts in one for sure. Like, yeah. I think that's going to be one of the strongest ways to utilize it. Without doubt.
So 300 points essentially with that config you're talking about with the guns is not a huge investment to get that type of disruption in the backfield.
No, it's.
Hey everybody, welcome to Forge the Narrative.
Nice to see y'all. We are in the middle of a show here.
I know. Hey everybody, sorry we were late. We were having some technical difficulties.
We had to start this Tyranid party without you.
And Kenny Boucher.
Y'all need to go back in timeout.
Are they being silly? What are they doing?
I hear what you're saying, but that sounds great.
So
Kenny,
what are you guys talking about?
We're talking about the Tyranid drop pods.
Oh yeah.
And basically, what's the best thing to put in them? We're talking about. I think since they're so expensive, you want to put something in there that makes it worth it. But you also can drop 40 gaunts in the backfield.
Yeah. So basically, I've done a lot of thinking about it. You don't want to put anything that's very expensive in there. All of a sudden, for example, a lot of people think Hive Guard right away is kind of like a snap judge. But in my opinion, for 55 points a model, for you to put a squad of 3, it's going to be kind of expensive to do that. I think just a base Carnifex, no upgrades, no nothing for 120 points. He is looking so love. Also with that, I hit this with Robbie B earlier. What about Yeah, 5 attacks on the charge. What about a Tyrannifex with a 2-up save and a Torrent Flame weapon? Dropping in your backfield now, because not only do you want to drop something cheap, but you want to make sure that you can drop something that's going to last more than a turn of shooting. What is a Tyrannifex going to do? You know, like all of a sudden now, you have a toughness 6 2-up save creature in your backfield that it's going to take some time to deal with.
Yeah, I think the amount of disruption that you can do with this it's a whole new world for the Tyranids right now.
Oh, 100%. Also, with how cool the models look, I mean, darn, I cannot wait to see what it is. Paul, do you have the rules right there that are a little clearer for the drop pod that does the shooting attacks?
I don't. I mean, I just got what we posted.
Okay.
I zoomed in like 10 times on that picture. I was getting into it. I was like, oh my god, how many barb stranglers can this thing have? Like, how many venom cannons can this thing have?
Ooh, now we're talking.
That's my thing. It can have 5 venom cannons for 20 points.
Are they heavy? Are they heavy venom cannons or regular venom cannons?
I'll look at the picture on my phone and try to zoom in.
We're not the Tyranid experts, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, no. What I'm telling you is there's a big difference.
They've gone dark.
Venom cannons. Now we're talking. Because that's doing something. Now we're talking strength 10 shooting, strength 9 shooting.
I doubt that's the case.
No,
but...
I think it's the strength 6. I think they get like the small blast templates.
Okay, so the barb strangler style.
Juice, you look so much bigger than me. Gosh. Hold on.
Yeah.
How about now?
So, yeah, there's a lot going on with this. So not only are they doing, you can drop in, so let's talk about that. So did you talk about the Devil Gaunts? So Termagants are back with Devours. A lot of people used them before jumping out of it.
Are they called Devil Gaunts?
Yeah, Devil Gaunts with the Devours. A lot, and then even some Blackmoor did really good in LVO last year using some Devil Gaunts mixed in with regular Termagants, outflanking them. I've never been a fan of it. Like, it's not reliable. But now, you can get 20 guys. It's only 80 points for 20 Termagants. You can make them Devil Gaunts, and that is 3 shots each, strength for AP5. Like that's 60 bolter shots.
That's
for 8 points, a total 8 points a model.
That's ridiculous coming out.
So for like somewhere around in the neighborhood of like 230 points, you have an objective secure Termagant unit that is putting down 20 models, that is putting down a lot of firepower. Like, I know Kenny put a lot of faith in the Crusaders with Assault, with all the bolters and stuff. I mean, that's basically, just imagine if all that was objective secured.
Evan has to help us clarify, it is regular venom cannons and barb stranglers.
Okay. Yeah, speaking of, we want to do a roll call real quick. I don't know if you guys had a chance to do that yet. Evan S, B, C, I knew I would see both you guys tonight, knowing with all this NID stuff going on. Sean, Jason Lewis, thanks for tuning in, man. Matthew Bryce, Bill Castello, Ashton Lewis, Chandler, Robert. Man, we got a full house tonight.
It's a lot going on.
Ricky.
All the Tyranid fans have burrowed up out of the woodwork.
Man, everybody. I love it.
There's so much excitement. There's so much excitement in 40K right now because the Tyranids is awesome.
I love it. Christopher Morgan, Gamer Champ, Cody, Jake Shear, Sean Bailey, all the classics.
Well, I won't lie. When I woke up this morning,
Coach is in the house. I'm sorry.
And I saw all this stuff. I immediately sent out like 1 million text messages, and I was like, "This is awesome," because we needed this. Tyranids really needed some rejuvenation, and it's so good to see.
100%.
Yeah, and so now to the the ugly business side, I got a question today is like, why do you think Games Workshop is doing a release like this? And I think that it falls right in line with the model that they're trying to promote. Is that as soon as they develop something, as soon as they get it in line, even if it's just one thing, they're not going to wait till next Codex release. They're going to put it out and try to make some money off of it. That's completely fine, by the way. That is not in any way coloring it to as anything negative. That is completely okay because it gets us stuff quicker.
Yeah, and to be honest, a lot of people are saying, like, oh, well, why is this coming out now? How long have we been asking for a drop pod or a Miasmic Spore? How long have we been asking for all these other models, this supplement to come out that is above and beyond. Everything else that's come out has been some janky data slate that gives us a formation in it. Like, we want, us as NID players, we want some hardcore new rules, some new something, right? And this is it. Like, this isn't something out of left field. Like, this is something we've been asking for.
Well,
Thank you.
Well, like, what's the number? What's the top 3 like complaints about the Tyranid Codex? Oh, they took the Doom away and they took drop pods away. Well, guess what? They're back. Kind of on a Doom, but definitely on a drop pod.
Let me finish kind of going off what I'm saying. Right now, they didn't have models ready for those things. All right, and now they're in the business of only putting out rules for things they have models for. So these things are obviously in the works, probably, either delayed or set up with some kind of release schedule or whatever. It couldn't make it in time for the book, but now we got, 5 new models or whatever.
That's a really good
all these
point.
rules.
Ever since that chapter house stuff and how things have been going, GW has basically found a way with this whole new data slate, this whole new release schedule to put out their codexes on schedule, hold back rules that they already had rules for, so they can actually, because it's like a legal thing now at this point, like, so people can't snipe in and start making models for rules they haven't made models for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, people are going to want these as opposed to using coconuts or whatever they were using before as mycetic spores. And I think it's smart.
Yeah, and
go ahead, Juice.
I just want to interrupt real quick. And we talk about one of the high points, the key points that GW is so known for is their modeling. Look at this. Look, and I don't mean to call anybody out, but look at all the old and busted, sorry miasmic spores that people did phenomenal jobs with that we all love. And all of a sudden now GW says, look, I'll take the time. I'll produce a miasmic spore. And we get this gorgeous model. Like, it's hard to contest when they can do something like that.
They have the technology, they have the process in place. They're a vertically integrated company, and they have it all set up in order to do this. And the good thing about this is that I think we're gonna see more of this, and I think it's a good thing for the hobby, just because we're seeing models that don't have rules. We're seeing models that their rules are coming out in White Dwarf. So now we get a codex, and if we don't get a codex, that's a precedence, because are we gonna get some sort of campaign book that like War Machine and Malpo, or are we gonna get are we just gonna get,
I mean, the rumor is that there's going to be a Blood Angels versus Tyranid book. Just the same way there was like the Sanctus Reach.
Yes, like the Sanctus Reach and everything. And that's great, because I think that's what we need. I think that's what we need, because it frees up resources from the design studio. They don't have to keep making these codexes over and over and over every 2-3 years. I think it's a really good thing.
That's really good, man.
It's exactly in line with what they said at the last, I don't know, it was the Games Day or Open Day or whatever they're called now. Is that
who knows anymore? Whatever best.
They want to move away from having these constantly renewing codexes and want to constantly just be updating the content and in small kind of burst releases. Yeah, and I think this is the first major push for that.
Especially with like how USRs are now, how finally the game is super streamlined, and now it's just all makes sense. It's all in the same place now. It seems like we can latch onto this edition for a long time with this new schedule, like this new way of doing things, which I'm like, this is what I don't understand, man. Like, there's a lot of haters out there today. I've been playing 40K, not as long as some people in this podcast, but I've been playing 40K since the late 90s. This is the most exciting it's ever been.
Oh no, it really is.
I don't understand what people are like. Yo,
if you're talking about for content, you're exactly right.
It's almost like it was in second edition. Double click this. It's almost like it was in second edition, where the White Dwarfs came out, and you didn't know what was going to come out. And every month, every 2 to 3 months, it was super exciting because it changed things up. We got new rules, we got cool stuff, and that's really what's happening. Because, I mean, granted, everybody doesn't always get something, but every couple of months, somebody gets a couple of things, and it's really cool to see. It keeps it exciting.
Man, like, yeah, but I want to touch on what Paul was just saying. He's like, yo, as far as for content, like that's true, like for content, but also I mean, like even for rules, like back when for a while when I was a hater before I came to my senses, like I was like trying to latch on to like 3rd edition 40K a lot, and and so like I'm like, wait, 3rd edition, there was like basically 5 armies that had 2 units, and there was literally you could do anything you wanted to do with these 3 phases of the game that were incredibly limited on how things work. Like the game was very, very simple. Don't get me wrong, but as like a fan of RPGs and stuff like that, and like wanted to get down to business.
Progression of the game.
Like yeah, I mean like I just can't even explain like how excited I am about stuff today.
Evan got a good point. Says amazing the good feelings and momentum you get from an awesome release.
Exactly.
That's how I feel about.
To lead on with that, Jason Lewis wants to know: is a new NIG codex on the horizon? Seems unlikely. No, Jason,
40%.
I have to admit, I kind of was thinking something around those lines, but talking with TPM earlier, it's kind of like, nah, man. Like, basically, what we just went over now is, man, it's going to be nothing but a bunch of small releases, codex, White Dwarf kind of things again, just so they don't have to do a brand new overhaul again.
Yeah, way easier to put out a couple of pages of rules instead of having to commission somebody to put in 50 pages of fluff nobody's going to read and then make the rules.
That's truth.
Yeah.
Can't lie. There's a metric crap ton of questions in this Q&A.
Chandler wants to know. Chandler D wants to know is like, Juice, what are you dropping in? MCs, objective secured troops, other word. Basically the first 2.
Yes.
I'm, as of right now, knee slapping, going at it first glance. I'm going to go with a Tyrannifex with
the flammer.
strength.
Oh, the super flammer. Oh, great move. And you finally get that's a great idea.
Yeah. So and all of a sudden now you're dropping in something in the backfield that you aren't going to be able to kill in one volley. Right.
Yeah. That's what we were doing while you guys were going dark for a minute. That's all we were talking about while you were gone was like having this out the gate backfield presence. I think it's gonna not to say Tyranids are bad. Juice has proven that you can bang it out, bust fools down with Tyranids right now. But we are finding that it's condensing back into that one template all over again, like it was in 5th.
Yep.
This will, I think, allow you to win games without playing this.
Yeah, I'm not even going to lie, man. If I go drop pod, and this is just my first gut reaction, if I go drop pod heavy, I'm not going to have winged hive tyrants. How does that make you feel?
Oof.
I feel like you're a different man. I don't even know who I'm talking to right
I don't even know how to react to that. Like,
right? For real, though, but because of the fact that I'm dropping my 600, and we're just saying this is a single cat. If I'm dropping 540 points with double tyrant, that is so much less that I can deal with this dropping in. I'm not saying that you have to go all in, but what I'm saying is whatever you're going to drop in, you got to have more than just 2 flying MCs. Like that just ain't gonna cut it.
No, you have to have multiple threats across the board.
Yeah,
Man, let me tell you, my buddy came over last night. One of the ones that hangs out while I paint. We play a game, or at least we try to play a game every now and then. And he was talking. He'd just seen all the Trimmers, the movie Trimmers, back to back. And he challenged me. He was like, "I want you to make a list with all the Tyranids that look like worms." And I said, "You were crazy. This is a terrible list. But since you're my buddy, I'll help you put it together and I'll paint it." Yeah. But now, waking up today, the world has changed. This might be a reality.
And it's funny because I talked to Larry from Bell Lost Souls earlier today for a very long time about all this because it's been such an exciting day. And he was like, Thomas wrote this article about how all these big bugs were like, they're great, but they'll never get there. And then literally 8 hours later, all of these rumors break about the drop pods. And he's like, and then I was like, well, you need to tell Thomas that.
I worked really hard on this essay.
Yep. There you go.
All right, so Stoner Steve, this is a phenomenal question. How many pods is enough? I'm going to let you know right now there isn't enough. I'm telling you, I have, in my mind, I'm twerking. Like, we're talking
twerking.
13, 12.
Dude, that's
yeah, because
they have weapons. They have weapons.
Are they purchased? Are the drop pods, what are they purchased as?
No, they're purchased for any unit that has in the NID faction. So we're not talking, this isn't a dedicated transport. This isn't a fast attack. This is literally
but they're not
the
going to
NID faction. Yep.
Do you think they're going to have that Space Marine rule? Like, because, notoriously the NIDs haven't had that arrive turn 1 stuff.
No, it does not have, from what I can tell, I'm reading on it, is not arriving turn 1, but it does have inertial guidance.
So you're gonna need a pretty strong turn 1 presence though, in case, like the old days.
Yeah, I mean, you have to. Yeah.
I'll have a Termagon, I'll have a Sky Shield, I'll have a bunch of Termagons spread out, but you want to know there's a couple things that I'm going to do with this. I'm going to drop in some big fatties in your backfield. I'm going to drop in some objective secure units all over everywhere. I might even go the route, instead of trying to block in 20-man blocks, I'm going to drop in like 4 10-man blocks of just little Termagons spread out. I'm also going to look at my
the fact that you know what, man, the fact that these stupid drop pods can move around and still score.
Yes. Yeah, and they're toughness 5 now and not toughness 4.
So good, dude. They're like something that has to be dealt with
the fact that these guys they can still hop around and then they themselves can reposition to take objectives.
Yeah. So I would like to throw you at this. And Robbie B and I were talking about this earlier. What happens if you're playing and you Kenny are playing with adamantium lance, and all of a sudden on turn 2 I drop down 4 75-point drop pod or miasmic spores, excuse me, and I deny you from being able to advance me.
Yeah. You just put them in. You can even put in 1 and get 20 gaunts and like surround 3 Night Titans.
You're not lying. That's the strongest part. And so do they have battlefield role? Like, will they become? Are they dedicated?
They don't. They've got a heavy support icon, but they don't take up a four-sword slot.
Okay, so they are design. So by design, they're not gonna be themselves objective secure.
Correct.
Right.
But that's still great. I mean, I can't tell you how much. Like I was telling Paul, is like they're gunboats too, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like even with 5 strength 6 guns, like with a small blast template or with a strength 9, like I feel like you can. I mean, you can really. I mean, you can pick up a lot of the damage you've lost from your flying hive tyrants.
You can do what now?
Your flying hive tyrants. You know, like you have 24 strength 6 shots.
Yep.
If what's this? The basic venom cannon, the strength 6 small blast.
Yeah, strength 6 small blast.
No, 5 for 5. So like if you have like 6 of these spores for you know what I mean? That's
and you're talking blast templates, so that's exactly what we want. Like blast templates that ignores basically or minimizes that low ballista skill, and also it's got a good range. We're not talking about a 12-inch range here.
36, right?
Yeah. So we're talking about it can reach out and touch some stuff.
So the turn it comes in, it has to shoot the closest target, but what about after that?
I can't tell from after that, and it also looks like each weapon has to shoot the closest target. So it's almost as if it can engage 4 different targets.
Ooh, that's crazy.
I wouldn't know about that. I think they would have to have a special rule for that.
I mean, so far I'm happy with it. Like it seems good, and I don't know what I would do against an army. You know, I mean, like if you just dropped 100 gaunts into my backfield, like
what do you do? I mean,
what do I do? Especially if all these drop pods get to move around and still like so it's not enough to kill the objective secure gaunts. I also have to deal with these drop pods that can move around and continue to score.
And let's also consider this. Now, I don't want to start any like panic rumors or anything, but I think one of these pages that have been leaked indicates that gargantuan creatures count as monstrous creatures for the purposes of the rules in the game.
Yes, I actually plan on dropping in Hierophant.
Yeah, or whatever, any of those Bio-Titans, the Harridan or whatever, just be like,
Nope.
Get out.
I think it's fair and balanced.
Nope.
Obviously, I mean that's what I thought we were. Yeah.
So first off, also what I'm going to do,
that's what's happening.
Clear off my opponent's Sky Shield landing pad, drop his own shield, so I automatically hit, and my Hierophant comes on the Sky Shield.
Okay. First of all, y'all are crazy. That doesn't happen.
So
I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying it might be a thing.
No.
So
when you and I play, we're both gonna have Hierophants and spore pods, and we're gonna play.
And we both have Sky Shields.
All right. I don't know any of you right now, because that's not the way it works.
So Matthew is saying right now, and I love it, the Damasheron in a pod, that is the Forge World creature. And let me tell you, he is a beast in close combat. He's actually what I wish the Tox Not Good Kreen and a horrible Not Good Specs. I wish both of those
First of all,
were Damasherons.
They're actually better now with the pods.
They are not worse.
Everything's better with pods. Everything's better with pods.
They're not worse because of the pods.
Gluten's better with pods.
Yeah, gluten's better with pods.
Okay, first of all, I heard what you said about gluten, and I do not like it.
Bastion's got a couple of questions. Says, do we think the new Tyranids are a signal that Games Workshop will release all the units that were deleted for the other armies because of the no model issue? And second, do we think that the White Dwarf, that these models will end up in the electronic versions of the decks? Question one is yes. I think that anything that they've intentionally removed, at least at that wholesale level, will make its way back in a data slate. We've been saying that from the very beginning, and I don't think I did not expect to get this much. I'll say that. I did expect to see this stuff again, but I did not expect to get all this in one shot like we've got. I do not think these models will make it into the E-decks. I think they'll be their own book because they want to try to sell a bunch of stuff in addition to the decks.
I actually want to keep going with Bastion. Another Lita follow-up question is he wants to know are Pyrivores a thing right now, and I fully endorse that. So to go back, I'm sorry to digress even a little
real
further.
quick, what is that?
When you guys were talking in the beginning, what do you believe should be in a drop pod? One of the main requirements that I believe is it has to be cheap. So let's talk about it. Let's not talk about a 55-point Hive Guard. Let's talk about a 45-point Pyrivore that deep strikes in now for freeze, and now it gets to shoot and flame out some of the the zombies on a backfield, Dire Avengers on a backfield, things like that. And now if something does instant kill it next to a 50-man blob, now that blob has the potential to take in some damage and things like that. So
or you can even
I'm not opposed to it.
You can have three of them guard the Tyrant effects.
What does a Pyrivore do? What is that thing? I've never heard of it.
It's the Strength 6 AP4 Flamer, non-torrent.
So
it's not bad for 40
so how
points.
many of them can you have in a unit?
You can have 3.
How many points? There 40 points each?
45.
I do like that. I do like that in a drop pod. That's a great unit in a drop pod.
Yeah, and if they blow up, there's a special rule. I don't have it right in front of me. On the roll of a 6, a unit within D6 inches takes a certain amount of wounds. So, we're talking. It can do some things. If you want it, if there's a role in your armor that needs to be fulfilled, this is it.
I like it. No, that's a great drop pod unit, man. I'm all about that.
Seems neat. I'm glad. I'm glad we're getting all these new strategies and new tech. Bill Costello is asking, so do we think this will indicate what is coming for all the factions, a model or two, and new rules dropping in between major releases?
Yes.
Completely, yes. That's going to be their style from now on until they proves that it doesn't work. Or honestly, I'm not saying 100%. It won't work. I'm saying until there's a reason to do it.
Honestly, I believe, just dealing with this company for so many years, I think not only is this what's going to happen, but we're also going to see in 2 to 3 years, we're going to see the end times. We're going to see Millennium 42. We're going to see some sort of crazy story, kind of like they do with Nagash and everything.
Does Han Solo drive the Millennium 42?
Yes, okay. He does. And it's exciting times because I feel like they're kind of gradually ramping up. And as we look back, we're gonna be like, oh man, yeah, all this totally makes sense.
Man, Angron's gonna come out of the warp. He's gonna be the new emperor. He's gonna come in there and he's gonna pimp slap that corpse out of his throne.
Oh my
He's gonna sit down on the throne.
No. 2 words. Abaddon ascended. That's all I'm saying.
No. The 42nd millennium will start with Blood for the Blood Guide. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Chap is asking if. Well, I just lost it. If they'll think that throws a curveball and put the Necrons out before the Blood Angels. Let me just say the answer is no, and if it does, it's going to get real. Like there may be some protests in the streets.
We're flying to Nottingham tonight.
If this does happen, TPM will bogard and bum rush his way into the CEO position.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if it's given to him or not.
Let's take a look at it real quick. So the rumored thing about the end times is like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Who would the 4 horsemen of the 40K apocalypse be?
It's Mephiston, TPM,
Robbie.
Can I be Pestilence? I feel like I'm.
Fair enough. So Evan S is all like, "Hey, shut up about the pods. We know they're awesome. Let's talk about these spore mines that get to infiltrate and shoot flyers and hug. They get to hug flyers."
What is this? I didn't even see this. I was painting elves, so I didn't get.
You got to get with it. You got to put the elves away.
Yep.
I moved on with my life today. I just put Devil Mud all over the elves.
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh yeah, that's literally the only way that you can bring it back.
Yeah, I dipped them in Devil Mud, just flung the Devil Mud off, and just that was it. Like you were right. Like I just moving on with my life.
Man, I was paying
Is that
some.
why you have Is that why you have that plastic drop cloth behind you?
Yeah, that's how I dip now. That's the next level painting process. I
So,
bought the world's supply of Devil Mud, poured it all into a 5-gallon bucket,
Ooh,
and now I just dip my bottles in it.
ooh, that's like $3 million.
It actually cost. That's like the exact cost of it. I had to take out a small business loan. They denied me, and I had to rob the bank.
I was
But
going to
I
say,
am
what's
wanting-
a
I am
small
wanting
business
to.
loan? You mean like
So-
13 small business loan all put together?
Yeah, I mean, but it's a sound concept because everyone loves Devil Mud.
So, Kenny, I'd like to throw this question at you. Chris Gardner wants to know, because I know that you've had some experience playing against a bunch of orcs. He says 100 gaunts, ... is kind of like 100 orcs. You can put it on the field. It'll swamp down some stuff sometimes, but ultimately your opponent can just shoot them off or deal with them. How does that make you feel?
No, I agree with that. You know, like I don't think like I think having 100 models that are cheap is really dope to back up spicy stuff. So as long as you're backing up spicy units that can move around and do things, that's why I like. To me, the Green Tide is never going to win a tournament.
All right. So I would like to throw. Is the Green Tide fearless?
Well, hang on. Before we go off, we got to talk about these spore mines and stuff. You know,
That's true.
Green Tide can be made fearless.
Okay.
I don't think it
So-
starts fearless.
Okay, so that's where I was going to go with.
But
my
it might.
comment.
I'm not 100% sure. But these spore mines, and Ken, if you haven't read this yet, is that they float around the battlefield and they can assault zooming flyers.
Mm-hmm.
What's their
And when
stat level?
It's like strength 8 AP3 when they do.
That's truth.
That seems good.
Yeah, it does. It's not bad.
Yes.
Let me tell you how many of those I'm going to have in my mind.
They're 15 points apiece.
Yes.
I'm gonna have 48 of them.
Yep. I feel like 12 is going to be about a good base for me. I feel like I need some anti-flyer. I will dedicate 155 points. Got it.
Yeah, especially if you're going ground pounding. If you're going ground pounding with like this new Toxicrene and a bunch of Exocrine and a bunch of Gaunts, and you're giving up the flying Hive Tyrants, you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna pack the board with all these Tyranids, and these spore mines are gonna be just blowing up randomly everywhere. Flyers.
You took it out of my mouth. Like now we are talking. We can have the next evolution of the Nid invasion, basically. Before and how it's been is like it's all flying, it's all fast, it's all whatever. That's, in my opinion, the only competitive list. All of a sudden now, with the parity, with the combination of the spore mines dealing with your anti-flyer, so you don't have to auto take double tyrant, triple tyrant, hive crone. Now all of a sudden you can completely take over the board. Have drop pod in, big fatties in people's backfields. You can still have an air presence. You can still have objectives secured everywhere. I am all about what the new NID stuff is going to bring for me. High Fleet Lexus is about to turn a lot of Exocrines into Tyrannifexes, and I might even bring Gene Stealers back. Like, my mind is blown right now. I've been working so much, I haven't been able to delve too much in, but a Brewlord and Gene Stealer, I think, has a massive, we're talking about multiple threats. How do you feel if I drop 100 Termagants, a Tyrannifex, what I already have on the board?
Man, you're not lying about
Gene Stealers.
You're not lying about Gene
Right?
Stealers. They're back.
So, 15 points in troops. Evanescence is saying, are these spore mines troop choices?
That's what I'm looking up right now. It's like it's got the symbol with the arrow pointing to the right. I'm like, is that a troop?
That's the right troop.
Yeah.
I got
like our boy J
text,
troop?
I got a text question from Luke. He says he can't post because he's on a silly Mac.
Silly Mac.
Silly Macintosh. In the end times, do you see 13th Company with Lehman Russ coming back?
If we get a serious end times, we're going to see something, and I don't know if it's going to be Primarchs, but it'll be something for sure.
Okay. I
think they'll do a 13th Crusade type of thing where they get closer to Terra. I don't think they'll bring the Primarchs back for that.
I like that. Everybody likes some 13th Company every once in a while.
But I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that exact situation.
100%. BC wants to know right now. He's high on this. He's saying that he's high on the Toxicrene right now. Now I got to put some proof behind the pudding. I'm trying to go with you right now, BC, but it's like word. So we drop it in, you get behind your own pod, so you get a 3-up cover save from the pod itself. And then all of a sudden now this is one of those elements that I was referring to with the Terran effects, as if you have a 2-up save, something that can be dealt with in one turn to kind of cause some havoc. So under that premise, I agree. And you're talking, you can get that for, he's 155 points? Or 165 points, somewhere in there, so he is probably a little cheaper than Terran effects. But for 175, you get a 2-up save. What's better, a 2-up save or a 3-up cover? I don't know.
They're both
go with
pretty good.
2-up save.
Well, I mean, until it's shooting you with AP too. I mean, they're both good.
Okay, let me go back to this this other thing for a second here. They are indeed troop choices. The Spore Mine cluster is a troop choice.
Oh my god. All right, so when I took that back, I apologize when I said that I would dedicate 160 points. Let me take that back. I would dedicate 600 points.
Yeah, I didn't hear 160.
How many can
He
you
didn't say that.
take per unit though?
It looks like up to 3.
So you can only but that takes a whole troop choice out of your army though.
Yes, it does.
Oh no.
Well, I know
Best quote of the
that
night.
Juice likes to run. Juice runs two or 3 units of Gaunts, right?
Well, I
Yep,
mean, thank goodness we
right now
do
it's
support
3.
things like double CAD.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop. BC, I'm with you.
I mean, it is a 45-point troop choice. Now, it's toughness 3 or whatever, and it blows up. Like, it ain't going to make it to the end of the game. But it might.
No, it's going to be a
Sorry.
first blood giving up, kill point racking up unit if you let someone get on top of you with it.
Well, I mean, it
Okay.
D-strikes. I mean,
Lamont, don't put that evil on me. He says, Lamont wants to know, does the pods push the NIDs up into the power curve, but more like at the Eldar range? Don't put that evil on me, Ricky
No.
Bobby.
No, nobody wants that.
I don't think that it does because you still need dice. Like, you still need average dice once you're on the table.
Yes. That's
But it
unfortunately.
gives you options.
Eldar don't need average dice.
Yeah, but it gives you options, and that's cool. I mean, playing with some of these things that have cool stats, they really do. Like, you wish that they were cool and could actually be used on the table. Now you're probably gonna get them in hand to hand or something.
Yeah, that's true. Well, TPM, as I look over these questions and get some things lined up, Chandler D wants to know, Robotech. Do I need to say any more? Have you gotten any games that let us know, dog?
Man, I haven't played a game yet. I've looked over the rules, and the rules are pretty simple. The rules seem digestible enough to where doesn't take a lot of mental investment to get going on the game. But these miniatures are in a lot of pieces. I have not had time to sit down and build them yet.
Dude, those models look great, but they are small.
Yeah, they are
like,
small. Well,
what is going
playing
on?
on the table, you're supposed to play also like on a 4x6 table. I think it's more realistic maybe playing on a 4x4. But they give you rules. You can move. The jets move really, really fast, and the pods, like, it's a cool. The neat thing about it is if you're playing the battle pods or whatever, I think as soon as like a unit is removed, you can bring them back on the table. They've got that the endless swarm or whatever rule. So I mean, you can play a pretty interesting game and be mimicking just like the show,
Awesome.
which is neat. So I'm looking forward to it. I just have not done it yet.
Okay. So to go back to the pods one more time, Jason Lewis wants to know how effective will pods be with deploying the Synapsis way. Well, Jason, that's a great point, and actually I would like to go in on it a little bit by saying I have never had a problem with Synapsis. I've had monstrous creatures everywhere. I've had fearless units. They don't care about it, this and that. Now it will be a thing. You have got to build it into your army. You can't have some one random guy. You have to throw in webs. You need to have a goalkeeper keeping yourself from
You
falling
gotta
off
have
the
sweepers.
board.
You gotta have goalkeepers.
Yep.
It's like I think this is the same thing, but you you gotta have it all.
Yep.
You're talking like a curling
that's
sweeper?
exactly.
What is it, like a
I don't know, but you need to have them.
Is
All
there
right.
a wide receiver in the Tyranid army list?
Jake is saying that grav cannons still work on those 2+ save guys. Grav cannons are always going to be a thing.
Good point. Thank you, Jake.
Yeah. So that 3+ cover save is going to be better.
Touche.
No, I mean, just putting it out there. It's valid, and things like, and if you know that you're going to have to get through a big, heavy, in-your-face Tyranid list, I mean, think about what it might change what the other guy has to bring now. Like we were just talking about, like what do our armies do?
I love this.
Hopefully kill everything.
TPM, man, what up? phenomenal point. Right now, 40K for the last bit has always been a cause and effect. Something changes in the meta, we see this. Tau comes out, no more Helldrakes. You know, before that, Space Marines were a thing, Helldrakes made them go away. Now, all of a sudden, what is the meta going to shift to? Knowing that you can drop pod in 100 Fearless Termagants. You can do a very turn one, maybe not Alpha Strike per se as picking up your army on turn one.
I don't want to deal with
up.
100 Termagants.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing like this has ever been done before, so we don't know actually what it's going to be. We've never had. This is not an Alpha Strike because this is reserves. So, so we don't know.
It won't be turn one. Yeah.
So we don't know what this is going to be. This is going to be 100 of my guys are going to just start showing up wherever they want. So what do you do? What's your reaction plan? Do you just start moving across the table and fight me, and then all of a sudden I just take your side of the table? Do you wait on your own side of the table while I just drop everywhere else, and now you only have 2 turns to deal with me? I mean, like that's going to be the real question. We have no idea. It's all speculative. We've never seen this happen before.
Yeah, on this level. I mean, especially right in the middle of an established meta, like a real established meta. It's going to be nice. Yeah, I've been working on a new version of the Super Friends list. I sent it to some of you guys. I'd love to play something like that up against this. But that's an unconventional list also.
I would not like to play 100 Termagants against any form of Super Friends.
And run
it might not be enough.
Yeah, and this version has saber platforms, the Storm Wolf, and Galexus Assassin. But I digress. That's a different episode.
my Super Friends list has 6 Wyverns in it.
Yeah, 6 Wyverns is good.
It's not sure it doesn't, but
well, I thought you were going to go with like Chaos Super Friends.
Yeah, Chaos Super Friends.
So, all right. So in our hypothetical world, Patrick wants to know, when you guys talk about the end times of 40K, does that mean that the talk about the Necron Lord Silence King might get a model, and he is the only one that has seen what the bugs are bringing to the galaxy and trying to save it?
That's exactly why the Silent King came back, because he didn't want the bugs to eat up all the organic stuff.
What?
The Silent King. For Necrons.
I don't know what...
Really, dude?
I don't know what you guys are saying.
Really?
This is like the only area of fluff I'm not well versed in.
Okay, first of all, I am the 40K quiz master. I won that shit.
True.
He went the pub quiz 40K master.
Okay.
Not that means anything.
Hey,
but
real quick, great announcement. Charles Ross said he just left. He's just getting on here. He just left the hospital with this brand new baby boy. Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Good job. Thanks for tuning in, for thinking that we're important and we're
we deserve your attention.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait to see you at the next event or anytime, and next drinks on me.
Charles Ross, I'm gonna pour a little bit of this bourbon out for your baby into my mouth.
I was like, don't do that. No, the Silent King, he was mad because he struck the deal with the Satan, and then he headed out to super, super deep space, and then he was like, oh, wait a minute, Tyranids, that's a bad thing, because we want to take this over, and we need to reverse this. We need to reverse this whole, like, mechanic curse, and we need to become organic again, but we need organic people to learn how to do that, and guess what? Tyranids are going to eat them all. So we're going to come back, and we're going to try to, like, head that off.
I'll put that in my memory bank.
Thank you.
There it is.
Thank you. I read a lot of that.
You must have just won a quiz at some bar.
I feel like we've covered that.
Coach from Family Gamers is saying that that this Games Workshop is basically putting these things out for people to play any style they want, using whatever models they want. And that's not bad. We as tournament gamers want to play in a structured environment, in some way. But people playing on the kitchen table, do whatever you want. It's supported by the rules now to do whatever you want, whatever is going to make you feel good playing and spending your time.
Can't tell you how many times I've used shoes and socks as, forests and hills.
I pretty much use empty bottles of liquor these days on my table, because that's all I have.
The crystalline forest.
The beard
Yes, a
jungle.
crystalline forest, so to speak.
Conrad, I want to shift gears for just 1 second. Conrad's got a question, and it's hiding here. It's a question about using a wolf priest or rune priest in a unit of Thunderwolf cavalry if it's worth it.
Wolf priest.
I mean, I know we're full on Tyranid, full on meta, and business talk right now. But I saw this question. I want to make sure we address it. What do you guys think?
The wolf priest is just.
I think he's worth it.
Yeah, the wolf priest given what is it, preferred enemy?
Preferred enemy, a unit type, and so that extends. I mean, obviously that's what I use in the Super Friends now, so that way my grab guns have preferred enemy as well.
Yeah, the rune priest is not required any longer.
So I'm sorry, real quick.
The American Express card of 40K.
Yeah.
I was looking for the question again. Is the question which one is more powerful, or should you have one or the other?
Would it be cool to field?
Yes. So a rune priest I think is very solid, and a wolf priest might be even a little more.
The wolf priest is my new American Express card for the unit.
Yeah.
Get that preferred enemy.
Yeah, it's just so strong, especially when you can combo it with some shooting attacks.
I agree.
I'd like to take a minute here to talk about Imperial Armor 13 real quick, because
we're fans.
Yeah,
yes,
I love it. Continue. You had me at Imperial Armor 13.
Yes, but there's a little something in there that a lot of us overlooked because we're just like, why is that even in there? That doesn't even make sense. But now it kind of does. There is a litanies of ruin that you can take that gives you preferred enemy Tyranids, and you can take out a vehicle. Sorry, dog.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Hey, it's in the book. I'm just talking about the book.
We talked about that.
Yeah, well, it's kind of relevant now.
We ain't got to bring it up though.
Yeah, you tell everybody.
Yeah, you gotta tell everyone.
Or whatever it is.
Bringing up old stuff.
Dog, can I sleep on your couch?
Seriously.
I need a place to stay.
So, Jake Shear is saying power field generators, a few Marines, maybe one or two, and a Warhound Titan. I got all your drop pod needs. Jake Shear, I agree.
Well, I mean, Kodiaz is still a thing. He is still the boogeyman. And, I mean,
yeah, he's still the guy hiding in your closet.
Yeah.
Cody has to just come back. I hate him.
Yeah, I mean, he can be in a Chimera with like a bunch of servers with plasma cannons, and that'd cause a wrinkle.
That would be, I feel like it would be more than a wrinkle.
Did you see a recoil?
So Justin Troop, brand new to the East Coast. I'm keeping my fingers crossed this for you, Jay Troop, that he might be able to make 11th company. Just got a text tonight. He's hoping to. But he's so using the Company Apocalypse rules and the deployment restrictions. This opens up some craziness using a Tau gun line, potentially maybe even the formation, anything that they have going on, and have the NIDs with the new Miasm Explorers until I find something else. That's what I'm gonna call them. Go ahead in the backfield. This is something he hopes to see.
That's actually a really good idea. Actually, he was just texting me some stuff like that too. But yeah, you put down 6 broadsides with all the drones and 80 crew or whatever
for free.
A billion crew and a buff commander, and then you just take all the drop pods, all the spores.
I like it. BC is giving out some good love to Charles, saying congratulations.
Yep, congrats.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Thanks for making us a part of that, at least letting us know so we can celebrate with you.
I want to ask Rob. Rob, you been playtesting any Chaos since last time I saw you?
I did. I actually, I've been hanging out in the greater Fayetteville area, so to speak. I went up to Hobbytown, USA. Greg Steiner? Steiner owns Hobbytown, USA, and I think it's Spring Lake, but it's basically Fayetteville. I played a game up there on Saturday. Really cool place. Learned a lot about the Army. I've been playing straight up Chaos Space Marines. It's my style of play. I feel like I'm a little bit of an old school player. Like I gotta have options. I'm not really eggs and all one basket kind of.
Did you play that list that you were packing up when you were here last week?
Yeah.
That's good. Hey, Paul, I put him on the path. I was like, I feel like you need 100 zombies, Typhus, 2 Helldrakes, and 2 Molothians.
Yeah.
And then I He was like, but I
Wait.
want Bellacore. I was like, and Bellacore, that's what I meant.
Wait. Do I have 100 zombies? Because I only thought I had 75. I played with 75.
It's 95 zombies.
I played with 75.
75, 100, it's all the same.
Yeah,
It's literally the same
Look,
thing.
if somebody kills your 75th zombie, then just scoot 25 more on the table.
No, I really learned a lot about the list, and it was pretty fun.
See, you're missing all that fun we had pushing all those zombies around the table. People just getting so mad.
Yeah, when you have an Aegis wall and they all 4+ cover.
Yeah.
He also has
Yeah.
Bellacore in his list, and so he's popping out Shroud Bubbles. He has a couple sorcerers. Really
I
good
do.
1850 list. How were the 2 Helldrakes, bringing the 2 Helldrakes back? How was that?
Helldrakes are a lot better than most people expect.
Dog, I don't know if y'all can see this face going on, but I have been pushing Helldrake, saying they are not dead. Get good at 40K and play some
they are.
Helldrakes. They are the truth.
I don't like the way Vector Strikes got changed.
Word.
But that's like the only thing I don't like about him.
Yo, but how does it make you feel that you can Vector Strike and still flame something instead of, should I Vector Strike or
No,
shoot
that was never a thing.
6
They always-
strength 6?
I always Vector Strike and Flame.
Helldrakes are still.
They're flyers. They can do both.
Hey, Paul. I have a funny story for you. Remember when we went to Vegas that one year, and we pretended I was Clay Aiken?
Yeah. It was
You
relevant
know,
back then, people. It wasn't out of the blue. It was very relevant back then.
It
that was
was, because, it was a little bit different times for Clay. But here in North Carolina, Clay Aiken is on the ballot again. And I've been getting a lot of weird looks lately here in North Carolina. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. Just promise them whatever they want.
Yes.
You don't like that? I don't like that.
Yeah.
You love it? I'm his biggest fan.
I can't wait till the new year so we can run this Forza Narrative seasonal. I've been thinking about it all day.
Yeah, man, we got to get some details out there to everybody soon.
I just want to keep that going. Let everyone know it's happening. It's happening in February. It's going to happen here in North
Oh, it's
Carolina.
going down. Believe me, and I still have a brand new NID limited edition codex to give away to the best NID player, and I swear, BC, Evan S, Christopher Morgan, all these people,
Yeah.
I better see all these NIDs, the phenomenal drop pod.
We might all be
stuff.
playing NIDS, but at that point.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
Yeah,
literally,
there
I
we
play
go.
this now. I've always played this, though. You know me.
Yeah, I've been a long time NID player.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah,
you
long
guys are
time.
the most long-time NID players ever.
So,
Chris,
I just want to mention it before we move on. We are getting close to the 90-day mark. We are, for our tournament. So I do want to remind people that it is happening, and by the end of this month, we should have some hardline details up on the internet.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Tracking down places to stay and routes and best ways to get there and everything. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, there's a couple shelters right next to the place where it's going to be at, homeless shelters.
Yeah, literally, I can invite you guys to my house.
My car's got a big trunk. I mean,
Yep.
I might get somebody to stay with me if they want.
Speaking of a homeless shelter, I'll be at one this weekend coming up for the 11th company. Chris Gardner, I just put my phone number up underneath the, what is this called? Banner.
Banner, sure. We'll go there. Is that
so-
your number? Yeah,
Yeah, that is.
Dog.
Hit me up. We will be arriving. Robbie B, myself, and Ender will all be there sometime Friday evening, probably around 7 o'clock. Shoot me a text, man, and I will let you know ASAP where we're going to be. I spoke with Neil earlier, who runs it, and we're all going to try to figure out a central location to kind of meet up with everybody.
That's gonna be a good time, and looking forward to maybe some more live streams.
Yep, that's in the works.
Yep.
Hopefully we can.
So, Coach wants to know. Coach wants to know about. He's like, look, man, are hive crones still a thing? If so, how many?
Man,
right now.
Let me pretend I'm juice for 1 minute. Hive crones have 1 foot in the grave. Maybe they're up to their ankle. Is that right?
Yes, they are 1 foot in the grave.
Man,
1 foot.
I don't like anything that you can just casually kill.
Yeah, and to be honest, Marines are coming back. There's a lot of things going on. I just have more games where after turn 2, they're just flying off the board. They have ran out of missiles. They're randomly vector striking something. They can easily be kited. What I find is I drop them down and jump on objectives. That's what I try to do with them. So, I mean, I don't know. They were very strong a little bit ago until the meta changes. I think 1 is in my list right now. I think 1 will stay, but it will take, with these new drop pods and everything else, I don't think I'll see 2 Hive Crones for a very long time.
Hey, Cody Griggs, your question is cool. He wants to know more about kind of the setup for league play and for pyramid type play. That is a great question for our next podcast. I don't think we got enough time to do it justice on this webcast right now.
Nah, 4 or 5 minutes, no way.
But we've been getting a lot of responses from people asking about the whole building the scene and what to do, what our ideas are, some of the things that we talked about. I mean, it's worth going into again.
And you're not
exactly.
Lying. I got a couple phone calls about the pyramid system today, actually.
Yes, it's going to be some fun topics to explore.
Mm.
So here's the end of the hour. Anybody else got anything they want to start talking about? I mean, I know we covered a lot. We didn't exhaust everything possible you could do with the Spore Pod. Just to reiterate, I really do love what it does is that it opens up options for the armies. So people can get more use out of their toys. Something that might have been good in a previous edition, or just something that looks cool they've always wanted to paint.
Yeah.
Like a Tremors list that I'm gonna have to do here in a little while.
Yeah, when you refer to toys, you mean real life.
Oh yeah, totally.
Well, these toys are real life.
Yeah, that's actually
real. It is real. And then we talked about these Huggin Spore Mine troop choices. How crazy is that? The troops.
Mm-hmm.
Think about this tonight if we get off the podcast or the webcast juice. Like think about the minimum troop investment of a smooth 30 points. What could you do with the rest of that army?
Oh my gracious. Oh my gracious.
Think about that.
Ooh, think about this, and now that I'm not auto-dedicated to have my HQ choices be flying Hive Tyrants, I can take Termagants as HQs. Now I can produce Termagants and more objective security units. And now, so that helps create my more units that's going on. And now that means I can just take more pods. So yes, Evan S, BC, whoever asked it, there is not enough pods out there.
Hooray!
Okay, well then let's think about the other way. Now, what if you come the Apocalypse Ally in a Tyranid just for the 45,000 Spore Mines?
I think you'd be doing yourself a
Did you say
good
45,000?
They're cheap. You get a little.
Juice, you could literally do the old 2 Termagants, troop choices loaded out, Mama Bugs, and then you can do a couple more Mama Bugs. I would say so you can do 6 troop choices. You can do 2 Mama Bugs with 2 20-man Gaunt squads and Spore Pods. You can do 2 Mama Bugs as your HQs, loaded out Crushing Claws. Then you can do all the other that's where my head's going immediately.
Yeah. That's exactly. I just want you to know I repainted, helped for Barely Tabletop Quality Painting Services. Just put a new NID army together. When I mean new, it's redid mine. That'll be showcased at 11 Company. We did not do enough Termagants.
Well, I mean,
you only have 2.
Honestly, I think. Yeah, honestly, I believe that a solid NID army by turn 2, whether producing or not, or turn 3, it's very feasible to put 120, 140 with the potential of it going up more with spawning Gaunts on the table. I don't think that's 120 points for 30 models. I mean, we could put down 150, spread them out in drop pods, and still have plenty of board table left.
Man, see now, guys, I'm thinking this, a bunch of summoning demons with allied Tyranids for all these spores.
That's what I want to see.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to have something dirty figured out by tomorrow morning.
Man, Ed Black is hitting below the belt here. What? He says, more overgrown insects. Going to need an even bigger stick to scrape the mess off of his feet.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a hater.
Man.
I think he's a hater.
Much
Hey,
love.
Jake, when I
though.
was saying about crashing in my place, it was the back of my car. Is what I'm saying. That's what we go outside the shelter at the 11 company.
Yeah, for sure, man. I just want to give a big shout out, man. We had such a live cast tonight of everybody tuning in. Nobody was shy tonight. Let me tell you that much.
Mm-mm.
I apologize if I didn't get a chance to run down. I only read like 4 words a minute, so it takes me a second to squint.
Hey, Lou, good to see you. I saw you at the beginning of the show, and then nice to get. You don't always get on live with us.
Yeah, for sure, man. We got so many people tuning in from across the ocean, some deserts. Don S, appreciate it, man. Chandler again, Patrick, Lou, Jason, Bastion, Evan S, as always, true pimp in its finest form. Gary, Conrad von Karsten, beast of a name.
Oh yeah.
First off, he's the new.
He's from Fantasy.
Yeah.
Battle.
First off,
Something like that.
first off,
I
need
thought
to
that was
be-
his real name. That's his government name. Don't take that from me.
Hey,
No,
hey,
it's totally a legit name.
well, guys, thank y'all for joining me. We are at the end of the hour. I want to really, appreciate everyone that tuned in to watch us live and contributed with their questions. It really does keep this fun and makes it seem like everything just zips through. I'm going to go ahead and close us out of here. Rob, stay away from that gluten.
I'm trying. Yeah, the plate is real, Paul.
I understand.
Yo, man, like I ate a lot of gluten today. I feel so fat.
First of all, not only is it gluten, but like the waitress at one of the restaurants tonight thought I was the older son of a 33-year-old man tonight.
That makes sense. Well, every time we go somewhere, they think you're my kid. Whatever, man.
No, I mean I get the resemblance. I mean, we're pretty similar looking.
Real recognize real.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all again. Have a good night. We're going to record the podcast on Wednesday. Hit us up on Facebook if you got any questions. If not, see you guys next Monday.
Let a pan.